On the night of May 13, 2008, a 19-year-old college student crashed his car on a quiet rural road in Minnesota. He was not injured, he was not lost, or at least he did not think so. And he was not alone. For nearly 47 minutes, Brandon Swanson stayed on the phone with his parents as he walked through the darkness, trying to find help. They could hear him, they could talk to him, they could not see him. Then, without warning, Brandon said 2 words. "Oh, shit." The line went silent. Brandon Swanson was never seen or heard from again. Brandon Swanson was a 19-year-old college student at Minnesota West Community and Technical College. He was described as friendly, responsible, and close to his family. He had no history of running away, no known mental health struggles, no reason to disappear. On May 13th, Brandon had attended a small gathering with friends in the town of Lind, Minnesota. It was late when he decided to drive home to Marshall, where he lived with his parents. The drive should have taken less than 30 minutes. Brandon never made it home. Sometime after midnight, Brandon accidentally drove into a ditch on a gravel road. His car was stuck, but it was not badly damaged. Brandon was not injured. He tried to free the car but failed. At around 1:54 a.m. he called his parents, Brian and Annette Swanson, to explain what had happened. Brandon believed he was near the town of Lind. His parents got in their car immediately to come find him. As Brandon stayed on the phone with his parents, something strange became clear. They could not find him. They drove around Lind. They checked nearby roads. They followed Brandon's directions. Nothing matched. Brandon insisted he could see lights in the distance. He believed he was walking toward Lind. At the same time, his parents could see no sign of him. They were close enough to be in the San Rural area, but somehow they were missing each other entirely. After waiting for some time, Brandon decided to leave the car and walk toward what he believed were town lights. This decision would later be questioned heavily. He left his car behind, locked, with his keys still inside. He continued walking while staying on the phone with his parents. As he walked, he described what he saw: fences, fields, gravel roads. At one point, he mentioned hearing water. For nearly an hour, Brandon remained on the phone. His parents begged him to stay where he was. Brandon believed he was making progress. At times, his voice faded as if the signal was weakening. Still, the call continued. Then suddenly Brandon exclaimed, "Oh shit!" The call disconnected. Repeated attempts to call him back failed. Brandon's phone went straight to voicemail. Brandon's parents immediately contacted police. Search teams were organized quickly. Authorities located Brandon's car the following morning, but not where he thought it was. It was nearly 25 miles away from Lind, close to the town of Taunton. This explained why his parents could not find him. Brandon had been completely mistaken about his location. But this discovery only deepened the mystery. Search teams combed the area around the car. Dogs were brought in. Helicopters searched from above. Volunteers walked fields inches. Nothing was found. No phone, no footprints. Despite extensive searches, Brandon had seemingly vanished without a trace. The area surrounding Brandon's car was difficult and dangerous at night. There were uneven fields, barbed wire fences, and steep ditches. Most importantly, there were multiple bodies of water. Rivers, creeks, flooded fields. Investigators believe Brandon may have fallen into water or rough terrain in the dark. But if that were the case, why was nothing ever recovered? Over the years, several theories have been discussed. The most common theory suggests Brandon accidentally fell into a river or ditch and drowned. However, extensive water searches were conducted. No remains were ever found. Another theory suggests Brandon became disoriented and succumbed to the elements. But weather conditions were not extreme, and again, no physical evidence supports this. Some believe Brandon may have encountered an abandoned well or culvert. Others speculate a medical emergency. Still, none of these theories fully explain the lack of evidence. Foul play is considered unlikely, but it has not been completely ruled out. There were no known enemies. No suspicious activity reported that night. No signs of struggle. The rural area was quiet and isolated. There is no clear motive for harm. One of the most haunting aspects of this case is the phone call itself. Why did Brandon suddenly react with alarm? What did he see? What caused him to say those final words? Some believe he stumbled into water. Others think he fell from a height. But no definitive answer exists. Over the years, Brandon's family has never stopped searching. Private searches have been conducted. Tips have been followed. New areas have been examined. Still, nothing. His family continues to advocate for awareness. They want answers. They want closure. Brandon Swanson's disappearance is terrifying because it feels so relatable. A simple mistake, a wrong turn, a phone call that almost saved him. He was so close to help. Yet somehow, he disappeared completely. On a quiet Minnesota night, Brandon Swanson vanished while speaking to his parents. There were no screams. No witnesses. No witnesses. Just silence. To this day, no one knows what happened after those final words. Oh shit. And somewhere in rural Minnesota, the truth remains hidden. What do you think happened to Brandon Swanson? Was it an accident or something more? Let us know your thoughts.